Let me make sure it's live on the page over here. So the new URL for the live show is Geekster or podnuts.com/geeksterslive, and yep, it's live. So.
All right, I'm not recording. Just tell me when to hit the record.
No, I know that. It's Johnny's telling us that it's not live.
Thank you, Johnny.
It's
Thanks, Johnny.
Probably a few second delay.
I didn't look. Is that our Johnny or is that another Johnny?
No, I think that's our Johnny because Brantley's
they
in there.
They were on last week.
Yeah, the whole Foolish IT crew was in there last week. So.
Oh man. Boy,
and so.
Yeah, clear the smoke out.
No, they're back in there.
Oh, I got something good to talk about. I think I was saying last week about the profiles on our machine. I'll talk about it during the show.
Yeah.
What had it?
Okay, can you guys go to podnuts.com and then go to Geeksters Live, see if it's
Just
there?
to see if it's there.
If you go to podnuts.com, in the live show drop-down, you have Geeksters Live.
Loading.
It's not working on the Podnuts.
Yeah, I got nothing here.
Really? I see it. Totally see it. Let me do something else. Let me log. Well, let me log out.
I don't see it. I'm there. It says Geeksters Live, but nothing's coming up on the.
Okay, let me log out because I was logged in as on the page, so maybe that's what's going on. Look, I have Geeksters Live. Did I not save the page? Is that what's? No, I see Geeksters episode 177. It's an iframe from YouTube. Pulls it right in. No?
No, I clicked on Geeksters Live and nothing's coming up. Do I have to?
In the URL, podnuts.com/geeksterslive.com.
Well, there's no com on it. Just podnuts.com/geeksterslive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the chat up here in the web page. No. Bright light.
That's weird. I'm seeing it on my side. Do you have ad blocker? Any ad blocker on or anything?
No. What browser?
You know what?
I'm using Chrome.
Yeah, I see it.
I do actually. You know what? Let me hold it. Options.
Are you using uTorrent? Not uTorrent. I'm sorry. Block Origin. Oh, Banda must be using Edge. Brantley, killing me. I'm going to be using the edge of my knife. That's right. I went there. You guys see anything yet?
Let me refresh it. I'm playing with ad blocker and it's not making a difference.
Still nothing?
No.
Why am I the only one that's seeing stuff here?
Paste your URL in the chat. I want to make sure.
I did. So that's the YouTube URL.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm talking about the Podnuts one.
Well, okay.
Just for the heck of it. I mean, it's.
Sure.
I'm not in the chat. I meant do it in
sorry.
You didn't open up the chat.
No, I'm trying it in Firefox and Chrome. I got nothing. I got nada.
Nothing.
Got diddly squat.
Nope.
I'm trying it in Firefox now. Oh yeah. Nope. Sure enough.
I disabled it.
I see it because it's your YouTube account. You can see it because it's your YouTube account. Oh. Did I? I'm sure I made it public.
You would have to. Yeah, it'd have to be on your end.
Right. No, when I created.
Tell that.
When I started the Hangout, I made it public.
Right.
Because if you don't make it public, it doesn't show.
Well, that's be easy to figure out because I can just go to the YouTube one if it'll let me in. Let me go to.
Here's the YouTube link.
I'm confused. I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm hearing myself there.
All right, let me. So you can see it on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Guess we will. You know what? Let me just try something really quick.
You just restarted.
Well, I'm gonna go back into the Podnuts page. Maybe there was something I missed.
Right.
Update. No, you shouldn't have to. There's no other save. iframe source. There's two iframes. One is the YouTube. And one. Okay, let me try this then. Let's grab another link here.
What's different? I don't understand what's different. I mean, you got this stuff on a rail usually, man. Something changed?
Well, they changed the website.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Website. Yeah, it's all.
I'm just curious.
Okay, let me try grabbing this link out of here then really quick. Well, I'm going to modify the web page again, but that is the All right, chat room, try it again. Okay, try it now. I don't know, maybe I didn't do
it worked.
I don't
It
know what
worked.
I did. I must have grabbed the wrong source code or something. So, okay.
It's there. I mean, I have to click play, but it's there. It's popping.
Right.
And I sort of don't want to keep it on here. All right. Let me.
I do see it in Firefox. So that was my bad. I grabbed the wrong link out of the Hangout.
Where's Pigeon? Who stole
What episode
Pigeon?
is this? What episode is this?
177.
76. Or 77? Or 76?
77.
Yes. I gotta find Pigeon.
Yeah, it's working now.
You're working. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Slap my hand.
All right, wait a minute. I'm gonna open up the chat.
Sure.
If it opens, come on. There we go. I'm missing a window. There we go. Pods. All right. I'm hitting the record now because you're about ready, right?
Oh, I'm totally ready.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right, moment of silence. Hey everybody, welcome to Geeksters episode 177. This is a show where we talk about all things geekery, from iPhones, Androids, and we even talked about vault toilets at the beginning. That's so low key. We're not going to talk about that because there's no technology in that at all, unless some things have changed since softball season. But hey, who am I? I don't judge. But hey, welcome to Geeksters. Glad to be with everybody today. Tim is back with us today. Hey Tim, how's it going?
Hey man, I'm pretty good. How you doing?
Doing well. I think I'm doing better than you guys. Since we talked, there you guys were doing. Mitch was raving about how warm he was, how he was outside just sunbathing, working on getting a tan, and then I think he got like at half an inch of snow or something, like a drizzle. Wasn't it like a drizzle? Would you call it a misting? Is that what you call that?
Just 29 inches. That's all.
I've heard that called a drizzle, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
But how can they? We had so much drifting. How can they tell? I mean, you go out my front door, like a few feet, there's no snow at all. Then in front of there, it might be a 3-foot drift, 4-foot drift. Crazy. I don't understand.
I don't think I've been in snow that deep once, and I was going somewhere and I was passing through it. I've never seen that much snow outside my front door. Rain, 29 inches of rain though. We'll talk about that. Not now. But hey, you guys doing well Tim's back. Everybody's doing well with you, Tim.
Yeah. Hey, man. Just getting
Well, you were gone last week, so
back in the routine. I mean, last time we talked, really, it was kind of wrapping up the holidays, and so of course it's getting to be the end of January here, but it takes a little while to kind of get things back going again with kids and school and work and routines and all that. But it's getting toward the end of July or January here rather, and that's a good thing because you start noticing the days getting a little bit longer, and that gives you hope because it's been a nice winter. It's been easy on us. Aside from that one major storm, nice warm here, and but still, them short days they're rough. So I'm glad to see the sun hanging around a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Mitch, so with the storm, were you able to go into work, or did you work from
Yeah,
home?
because fortunately it started Friday night, and so it stopped about I guess Saturday night, a good 30 hours I guess. Yeah, I mean I got cleaned out. I went over the driveway. I got a pretty long driveway like 70, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 feet, whatever. So I did it twice. I got a snowblower, thank God. But the roads hadn't been done, and they said these back roads may not get done until Tuesday. But fortunately, they did do it Sunday afternoon. So all I had to do was get they blocked the bottom. The plows blocked the bottom of my driveway. Had to clean that up, and then I went to work, but we had we had a power outage in the building, but we still worked. But they had a crew, like 4 or 5 guys working around the clock, employees. I mean, because we got some equipment, and it's a 1 million square foot building I work in, and we have like 80 dock doors. So of course they moved everything, what trailers they had out, and they so they were constantly. I mean, as soon as they did one section, they had to go back there, just back and forth. But it was all good. They did a real good job. But they were up like 56 hours doing that stuff.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, I can totally, I don't envy you at all, but, the other day I was driving, and, everybody knows I live in the Pacific Northwest where it's gray and raining, and the other day the sun came out, and it hurt my eyes. So I understand the pain and misery of being stuck in 29 inches of snow because the sun was too bright while I was driving.
Yeah, okay. No, not 20, 29.
It's like being at the beach and the wind coming off. It's just a little bit too strong.
It's too chilly.
Just a little bit.
The bad thing was I got a half acre, and in the back I got I don't know 30 by 50 area fenced in for the dogs, and so we do a little area right by where they get off the deck. Of course, they don't want to go there; they want to go where they normally go, which is all on the other side. So my wife's making a path just for them. She fell, and
she right?
She fell, and she couldn't get back up. And it's a good thing I was there. Yeah, she fell like in a 2 foot, 3 foot drift, whatever it was, and she couldn't get up. But I was there, fortunately.
No injuries or anything.
No, she's all right. She just couldn't. She fell, and she's in like 3 foot of whatever, or a drift, and it's just every time no traction, and she couldn't hold on to anything. And I got her right up. Yeah, she was all right. Thank God.
Speaking of falling.
What's that?
I said, speaking of falling down, when's the last time that you just fell down, that your feet just came out from under you, and you
probably last year on the driveway on ice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that happens often enough that.
It does for me.
Well, I mean, even once is too much. But it's not like something that happens so often that when it happens that you're like really prepared for it. My daughter got one of those those hoverboard things.
Oh, my daughter wanted one so bad.
Oh my gosh. Which of course it's so stupid. Why are they even calling it a hoverboard?
My wife saw one the other day, and she goes, "They don't hover." And I'm like, "No, that's it." There was like a gang of kids. There was like 7 kids like going down the street in a row on them.
Yeah, a gang.
A gang.
It's like looking at a roller skate and calling it a hover shoe. I mean,
the name is a marketing tool, I'm sure.
It is, but you know what? I mean, it really is a neat thing. However, these things are the lawn charts of today. I mean, these things are people are going to be killed in these things. I know that because I nearly was. My daughter just had to have one for Christmas, and she got it. Now it it actually shipped a little late, so she had to wait till after New Year. But she gets it, and it's a really neat contraption. But I tell you, I was like, I, I was surprised, even with you know, I've noticed the older I get that my inner ear is just it's shot. I get sick on rides, and my balance is nothing like it was when I was a kid. But I got that thing. I kind of like figured it out. And I'll tell you what the thing is that it's actually getting on it and getting off of it. I mean, that's where the danger is. Once you're on it, you kind of have your balance, and you kind of have. I mean, within probably 2 minutes, I was scooting around the house on the thing. I kind of had I had enough control that I could really like. It wasn't like I was flying around the house. I mean, I could really just kind of edge it a little bit, edge it like just back and forth, and I was surprised the control I had. But the problem is that you forget what you're doing, and I'm looking and you're showing off. Next thing I know, I go flying off the thing backwards, and it was almost like it was in a movie. I go flying off the thing backwards. It comes out of my feet. It goes this way. I go that way. I land on the coffee table on my back. Crap goes flying everywhere. And my wife screams. She goes, "Are you okay?" And then she looks at me and she starts dying laughing at me. And I was like really in pain. I'm laying there like how your back isn't supposed to bend one way. I mean, that's what I was doing.
Oh, that's way too funny.
Oh my gosh, I'm staring at the ceiling. And I got stars, and and this coffee table has a glass top on it, and I'm wondering. It sounded like a lot of stuff broke, and I oh my, it was crazy, that thing. It's almost like it waits to. There's actually a really funny video on YouTube of Mike Tyson. It's Mike Tyson. Have you seen this? Mike Tyson, like his kid had one. He gets on it. It was the same thing. You can see where just by the time he figures it out, and he gets just a little bit too cocky with it, like I did. He goes, and I mean, he flies off. He cracked his head bad. And you could tell that that thing messed him up. And so I can really relate to that. But yeah, I gotta tell people that those things, they're great, but go easy on them, because oh my gosh, I tell you what, that thing took me for a ride.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, my daughter wanted one, but I was like, they catch fire, and I don't want you to catch fire. So.
That's okay. Well,
I mean,
that's the same reason she shouldn't have a laptop too.
Well, yeah, that's why she doesn't.
Right.
And she lives in a bubble. It was hard to check that on their plane trip yesterday, but they got it there.
Well, you know what? If she's in a bubble, then she can't use one of those things anyway.
Well,
what? I tell you what, just
her
throw
feet stick out.
Just throw some marbles under your bubble, daughter. It'll be the same effect. Just start running.
The hover feet? Is that what they call that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, nothing too exciting here. It's been, I mean, I've had some stuff, personal stuff and some business stuff come in that's not Geeksters talk show worthy yet, just because it's still got to get some stuff squared away with it. But no, we're all doing. Everybody's doing really well. Nothing. Yeah, thanks to everybody for coming out for the show. That's pretty much.
That pretty much sums it up.
That sums it up. No, it doesn't at all. So one of the things that is new since so a couple weeks ago, if not more than that, we had talked about the Podnuts website getting a full revamp and just looking really, really good.
It looks awesome.
And I think Rodella from Your Friendly Neighborhood Computer Guy was involved in that, and he helped out and got just a great website. Well, the live page for Geeksters wasn't working, and so today or this week, I've been working with Dor. We got it up and running. So if you never have to look for the YouTube videos or anything like that. Podnuts.com, and then you can click on Live in the middle. There's a drop down Live. Go to Geeksters Live, and you'll get that every single time. This first time was my bad. I put in the wrong link, so you'll see us all go. We can't see the link, but the YouTube's recording. So it's podnuts.com/Geeksters plural live, and find us there. So that's exciting. And it's an iframe for iTunes, so if you have iTunes blocked by any kind of pop-up blocker or ad block, things like that, you're going to want to probably disable that. I use uBlock is my pop-up blocker in Chrome, and inside of that I can unblock like all of Podnuts is just unblocked, but not anything else. So while I'm gonna mention this at the beginning of the show, so hopefully maybe somebody will have an answer for me by the end of the show. If not, please send us your emails because I'm curious about this. I received an email just prior to coming on the show, and it's from one of my clients, and she says, "Hi Martin, is there a quick way to count the number of emails I have sent or received in any given period?" I believe she's using Outlook 2013, if not maybe 2016, but I have a feeling it's 2013. I did quickly do a quick Google search, and I found a VBS script you could do. You could that input in there that basically will give you a count of everything you've highlighted. So my first thought was go into your sent items or received items and and then highlight how many, maybe highlight all of December 1st through 31st, and have it count that for you. But I don't know if Outlook throws a count on there or not. So I'd have to pull up my virtual machine and look at that. But I thought I'd throw it out to the Geeksters community that if you know of a quick way or an application or something that will help me with that, I've never been asked that question. So there it is. Maybe somebody will help me find out how to resolve that. I'll try this VBS script. It was written for 2010, maybe 2007, so I'm not sure it's going to work for the newest versions, but I don't know until I try it. Have you guys ever been asked that question, or?
No, but counting things and collecting data and then assembling into information is things. Those are things that computers are really good at. So it seems to me like if somebody somewhere ever needed that, then surely a solution exists somewhere. If it doesn't exist in in Outlook itself, there has to be some really easy way.
Right.
Now does it's Office 365? That's what that is.
So she does have it is local Outlook. So Office is installed locally on her machine, but she does have hosted Exchange.
But is it? I mean, a personal computer, or is it on a?
It's a work computer.
I mean, do they still use Exchange with that and everything? And
yeah, but it's hosted Exchange, so I don't have all. I mean, I guess if I knew PowerShell script,
I would think they would have the information. I don't know.
Yeah, I could call them. So I don't know exactly what she's looking for. Brantley in the chat room says, curious to know why you would want to know, or curious as to why you'd want to know, like Office bragging rights.
I can ask Lisa when I talk to her this weekend. She may know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just knowledge. I don't know if there's something that she's got to report back to supervisors. I don't know the reason why, and I don't. And I read you the email word for word, so I don't know if it's just that simple or if there's something, what I really mean is,
But actually, it is a good question, really. You think about it, I mean, like if you're like me at work,
right.
I just was cleaning stuff out from like 6 years ago.
Right. I mean, I guess what you could do. This is a simple way of doing it, is if, say, your sent items, go in, highlight the sent items that you want to count, and mark them all as unread. That then turns on the flag to count the number of unread emails in the folder.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Can you I mean, this sounds like a dumb question, but could you just do a search? So if you were searching for emails and just do it during the search to a query for the that time frame that she's looking for, and then just what's a wildcard, like an asterisk or something that would be included in each email. I mean, that would actually count. It would give you a count of how many were sent during that period. I mean, is that right, or is there anything to that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I have to open up my Outlook and mess with it. I don't, like I said, mine's in a virtual machine, so I may have to pull that open and find out.
Yeah, my Outlook. I have to find I don't know where I put a box somewhere.
So there it is. Question to do that. A little bit of a change of information from last week. So last week I had mentioned that Windows XP the embedded was no longer available. So if you made the changes to your Windows XP machine, that was it. You were done. I was incorrect, and well, I was both. I was correct in saying that the Windows XP embedded was no longer supported, but if you changed it to the point of sale, which is what the registry hack was, you still have another year and a half or a year or something like that. So I was wrong, and I stand corrected, and I asked for your forgiveness, audience, because I led you astray, and probably all of you went out and purchased Windows 7 or Windows 10 and upgraded all your computers when you had another year of Windows XP.
Darn.
Sorry, I made you give money to the man. The richest man again, by the way. Forbes came out and said that he is now back on top of the richest man in the world.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. I don't know who unseated him for a while there. Do you guys remember?
Oh, I do.
I did, and I forgot.
Was it all those Powerball winners?
They didn't stay hidden, did they?
No.
Anonymous.
Well, they're trying to pass a law, I heard, to say that if you win over a certain amount of money or something like that, then you will stay anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, that was before I came down here. Some show was coming. They were coming up. I forgot what I was watching, the news or whatever. And I guess it was 4 of them. But I mean, they didn't want to be anonymous.
Yeah, I would stay anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, you would get relatives. Me and Tim would be related to you. All of a sudden, come out of the woodwork. Nah.
Throw some money down. We'd have the Podnuts Resort in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I think it was Warren Buffett. I think Johnny might be right.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember who it was, but he's got.
I mean, that's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, she said she ate at the buffet. Oh no, I'm getting confused.
Oh, she's listening to Jimmy Buffett.
No, well, Brantley's talking about a Latino.
Yeah.
Brantley, I don't know what you're doing. Well. Anyways, so that was my question. I have another note here. Well, anyways, I'll have to remember what that one is. So I had a friend call me up yesterday, and he said he writes music for movies and commercials and stuff like that. So that's what he does. But he also is getting into photography. And so what he wanted to do is he needed a place to just store some photos and then basically just link them back to a web page, so he could just embed a URL in a web page. And he was looking at Imager, and he was looking at Flickr, and he was looking at all these other ones, but he was worried about size, and he was worried about space, and so what we did is we ended up creating him a DigitalOcean account and just using the $5 DigitalOcean. He gets 20 gigs worth of space. And and then he can put whatever he wants up there. He's not limited to a certain size of a photo, or I mean, he is based on the hard drive space. But so that worked out really well. We just created him a $5 DigitalOcean account, 20 gigs of data. You get a half a gig of RAM, and a terabyte worth of bandwidth transfer. So plenty of bandwidth transfer for him, and it's going to cost $5 a month.
Cool.
Do you guys do you have any servers out on DigitalOcean?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
I've got a couple, actually, and it's just a great way to just spin up a Linux box, any flavor of Linux. You get root access, so it's just like you're working on the, right from the command line, and you can, what I usually do with mine is I spin it up, I do all my updates, and then I take a snapshot of it, so the machine actually shuts down. You take a snapshot, you date, and whatever you say what you want the snapshot to be named, and then once the snapshot's done, the machine turns back on, you're back up and running. So if you do something and you mess it up, you can always revert back to that point. It's basically a system restore. But say you just mess the whole thing up, you can just tell it to reload with another operating system or the same one, and within a minute and a half, you're back up and running. So DigitalOcean.
And you said it was free, or was it
$5 was the cheapest one.
Okay.
I use it for, like, my Screen Connect is actually running on a DigitalOcean server, and I've had no problems with it at all.
But I mean, 20 gigs is not much. But
well, what are you going to do with 20?
I don't.
I mean, for just a Linux server, if you just need something to spin up and mess with Linux, or run a quick website or something on.
I'm confused. You're talking about the operating system is on there.
Yeah, because they're virtual machines. And so
Oh, okay, okay.
when you spin up when you spin it up, you can choose what operating system you want, what flavor of Linux you want,
And this is all in the cloud.
all in the cloud.
I have to try that out.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's actually it's pretty nice. So I know a lot of other people use it. I would it's a great way to just spin up a server. It's outside of your home, so you don't have to worry about trying to do any routing on your firewall or trying to figure out how to do port forwarding or anything like that. It's outside your home, so it's got an external IP address. You can make it do. I mean, you could make it do anything. So it's I'm $5, and then when you're done with it, you can just turn it off. Okay, I spent $5 and I got a chance to play with the machine. And it's super. I mean, it's pretty fast since it's all on them, and you can just reload it when you need to. I think I've had my my Screen Connect server on it for been way over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So, if not more than that, actually, a couple years. I think the last setting it showed an uptime of a year, but I think that was because I had done some updates to the server itself. I redid the operating system, and so that's that. That's that new one, and it's real easy. So say you want to shut it down and bring up a new one, and that's what I did last time. Actually, is I had 1204 long term in Ubuntu, and then I brought up a 1404 in another DigitalOcean, right? And then made sure everything worked before I shut down the old one and left the new one up and running.
Oh,
And that's a nice thing about the VPS is you can just spin up another one and then cancel and delete the other one when you're done with it.
gotcha.
So, yeah, worked out well. Anything you guys did exciting?
I think I told you last week that I guess about a month ago where I work at they changed the domain from the previous company to this new company, and so now we go to that Monday I go to log. I mean everything's fine, but now sometimes when I try to log off of somebody else, he left the log on, I'll log off, and it gives me this generic log on for my profile, saying something about my profile was corrupted or whatever.
Right.
So we could shut it down, reboot, and it would be fine. Today I come in work. No matter what I did, I kept on rebooting it. Just kept on giving me this generic profile. And the guy, it's only usually two people use this machine. A guy on night shift. Anyway, he said he couldn't get on either. So I did get tech. Had to call help desk, and they're in Chicago. And I work in Maryland. Go figure. But anyway, so he came in and he had to delete like the backup profile and rename some stuff, and he got it. So I mean, I'll see tomorrow how it's going to work. But I should have paid attention to what he was doing. I didn't really pay attention to what he was doing. I mean, it was in the registry. He had to edit some stuff.
It was in
profiles.
Yeah, I actually just ran into that today with a computer at the school that I work at. One of the you'd log in and it wouldn't work. And what struck me as odd right off the bat was the fact that when I logged in under that user, it said preparing your desktop. I was like, okay, this is a child computer. This is one of the fifth grader computers, and they all use the same account. So I know that they've logged in before. I said, okay. So I logged out, logged in as an administrator. I went into the users and I deleted their profiles, right? And then logged back in, and it popped up saying this is a temp profile. So you go into you log out, log back in as your administrator, account.
Right. Which I couldn't do any of that at work.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
H key, local machine.
Microsoft,
software,
Windows,
Microsoft software. Anyways, current control set software, Windows NT profile.
Right.
There's profile list in there. There's probably one with a .bak file at the end of it. You can either get rid of .bak and reboot your machine, or what I did is I just deleted that profile, started from scratch, deleted the profile, rebooted, logged in, profile saved, up and running.
I think it was like two of them in mine.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to what he did, but he did it for the other guy too that logged in. So hopefully, and another machine. These are XP machines, so which he was like harping at too.
I remember that happening all the time with XP. It seemed like.
Well, it's none of the Windows 7 machines aren't having this problem. It's only the ones, we have about 4 or 5 XP machines. It's only some of those are.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's coincidental that I thought that, but yeah, I just as soon as you said that, it's like loading a temp, temp profile because it seems like there was some gobbledygook that follow that, and you're like, and I remember that. That made me think of XP.
See, our XP machines doesn't have the hack, so they're not getting updates.
Yeah,
Yeah, here it is.
It's so locked
actually,
in.
I don't think any XP machines are getting updated.
Yeah.
Yeah. HK local machine software, Microsoft Windows NT current version profile list.
Yeah. He was where he deleted it. Actually he backed everything up first just in case.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which was good. That's the thing is when I when I would get in this generic profile, I can go into users and see my stuff right there. Yeah, everything was there. All my shortcuts were there. But I don't want to go resetting everything up again. It was going to take me an hour or two, or whatever. But
that's why. I mean, the one article that I read said just remove the .back and then try that to see if that resolves the issue before you kind of.
I think he did that, and I think he said something about renaming because I was actually had another issue. My boss who works there, he tried to play a movie on his Windows recently updated. I don't know if it was Windows 7 or Windows 8, Windows 10 machine. It wouldn't play the DVD. So there was something, I think in the beginning there was no support for it. I just played one on here and it played. DVD player came up on this Windows 10 machine. I guess it might have been something that they added. So I don't know if he's getting his updates or not, but he could be something wrong with his. I told him to try a couple things, and I'm going to let him use this. I got a USB DVD drive.
Oh yeah.
So
Try the VLC player.
Yeah, I told him about that. I gave him all the information. But
but
it's playing on mine. But maybe it's because I get all the updates and everything. Maybe he probably doesn't.
Yeah, I deployed a Windows 10 Dell Venue. It's an 11-inch tablet.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, before you dig into that.
No, go.
I want to throw out my favorite media player is Media Player Classic.
Oh, yep.
Home Cinema. And,
you can get it from K-Lite. The K-Lite codec pack.
It's available. It's actually you can get that Ninite. And but also if you just go to just Google it. It's
the codecguide.com.
I'm sorry.
Codecguide.com.
I was going to say MPC-8. It's a ridiculous name. It's Media Player Classic Home Cinema. The name's gotten longer with the years, but it's remained super small and it's extremely powerful, and I love it. It's very easy to set up. It's always played everything, and you can get pretty nuts with it. You could just open it and use it and be done with it, or you can get in there. I mean, you can configure, you can remap buttons for remote controls to do different functions, and all kinds of stuff. Anyway. Anytime I know everybody's gonna get their favorite, and that's cool. But if you're looking for one, try it out because I've used it forever and I absolutely adore it.
Oh yeah, no, I use that all the time on Windows. I remember that. The one on Ninite, you actually, I think you can. Do you get just the player, or is it the whole codec pack?
Yeah, I think it comes with the codecs and everything else.
Right, I remember that. So the K-Lite codecs was the player. I would always install those codecs because they played everything. And when I was on Windows, but then when I switched to Linux, I just started using VLC, and so it's just a matter of preference of operating system. But that Media Player Classic, that's still, I'm a big fan of just do what I need you to do. I don't need all the bells and whistles and the fluff.
They have Ninite. I see KM Player. Was that the one you're talking about, or
no?
And Media Monkey.
No, it's actually inside of the codec, the K-Lite codecs.
Oh, okay. I do see that. Okay.
Yeah, they bundle it inside of there. I haven't played with the KM Player or any of those, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does say K-Lite codecs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So that's Ninite. That is the one you want, the K-Lite codecs. Mm-hmm. However, like going back, I remember there being these big code, especially with going back to XP, there was these big codec packs that you would download, and I remember K-Lite being like kind of a dirty word in my mind and all these because you would download this big thing and it would install a ton of
Yeah.
Right.
crap. It would just tentacles
Right,
and
right,
everything.
right.
And so a codec pack was a really it's you didn't. It ended up being a lot more trouble, and it would cause more problems than it would solve.
Right.
However, at the 99 site, yeah, it does say K-Lite codecs. I would shy away from that. It's just Media Player Classic. But yeah, I would. But you can just go to MPC-HC and download that. Try it out. Highly recommended.
The K-Lite Mega Codec pack, which is that's the Mega one. It's 40.3 megs.
Yeah, I mean that's like a wheel. That's a wheelbarrow of stuff. I mean.
It's everything under the sun, and then more stuff that you possibly could never use.
You don't want that. All of a sudden, it doesn't seem light and snappy.
Well, yeah, it's
anything
that.
With 40 megs of down.
It's
Probably
yeah.
not light and snappy.
It's called K Heavy.
It's K Razy.
K. I was like, did he just say K Raisin? And then I heard it again in my head, and I'm like, oh, he said Razy.
Crazy. That's kooky. That's some kooky stuff.
That's crazy.
Packs.
So I had a Windows 10 last week. Oh gosh, what happened? She upgraded her computers from Windows 7, worked fine, no problems, to Windows 10.
Yeah.
Everything worked fine, no problems, except that the when she was at work, the internet, she's on wireless, the internet would drop and reconnect, and they would go for a while and then drop and reconnect and go for a while and drop. Like it was always fluctuating. But at home it never would do that. So, go ahead, Mitch.
Which machine is this?
It's a Dell.
I had the same. I have a Dell here, my older i5.
Uh-huh.
I read it before I did it, right? And I was wondering if there was going to be issues because it's in a RAID, and it wasn't. But I heard there was an issue with that, and before this PC, and I can't remember if I updated the driver or not because it was working. I think I did update the driver. Just anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Because
So-
they're saying there was an issue on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so what we ended up doing, it wouldn't work. It would work fine at home, and I'm like, well, we can reboot the router at work. We just unplugged it, plugged it back in. No, I said, right now either it's the driver issue, but she was busy and I couldn't make it down there, and she was just like, I need to get this resolved. So I just had her roll back to Windows 7, and everything works fine. So I'll let her know if you want to roll up to Windows 10, we can do that again, and we'll update the driver. But I knew it was something along those lines. It was one of those things where she was over there, I was here. We never could really get everything squared away. It's kind of I volunteer for that office, and so not to say that I wasn't interested in going and working and fixing it. She just was like, whenever you get a chance, no worries.
Yeah, I think it's an XPS 8300 or 3000. I forget. I know it said it wasn't supported.
Right, I know hers is not an
Windows 10,
XPS,
yeah.
but I don't know. She did the upgrade, so I don't know if it ever said not supported or not. But
Yeah, it did say it on mine, but people weren't having any problem except for that one driver for the.
Right. Well, we talked about, speaking of Windows 10, we've talked about in the past that GWX control. Like there was the registry edit you could do, and then there was that application that you could put on your computer, which I have on the test machine behind me. And I need to update it because they've changed stuff because it's always notifying me. I know they've done an update on that GWX control panel to limit those updates, so it's not always notifying you. But, go ahead, Mitch.
No,
You were
I'll say
leaning in.
something when you're done, though.
Oh, okay, but Microsoft came out with an official how to manage Windows 10 notifications and upgrade options page. Apparently,
Is it a piece of electrical tape?
yeah.
What?
It's
Cover it up on the screen.
just white out. But what it is they walk you through how to do some stuff in group policy, which is what I then took that and I deployed that at the sites that I have a domains at, because then they were, instead of them getting updates, now that's all being blocked by group policy. But essentially what you do is you go into your computer policy, you make some changes that adds a folder in the registry, or adds the ability to edit the folder in the registry. Then you go into the registry and then you change the D word from disable OS upgrade from 0 to 1, which then enables that, and now it's done. And then what you do is you go into the Pilot Registry and you do that disable GWX, and that gets rid of the icon on the bottom of the screen.
But you're talking about like pro machines, not home machines.
Well, I don't.
Because I don't think you can't. There's no group policy editor in home, right?
It says the computers running any of these following systems which are excluded from this reservation: 8.1 Enterprise or 8.1.8 Enterprise, RT8, Embedded 8, Standard 8, Embedded 8.1, Windows 7 Enterprise, Windows 7 Embedded, Embedded 7, and then POS Ready 7. But every computer, even if it's not Pro, has group policy in it. You just go to Computer Configuration Policies, Administrative Templates, Windows Components, and then there you're in your group policy. Even though you can control the group policy on a domain, but every computer has group policy in it.
Yeah, Brantley's saying, because I tried to do that on one of my home machines, I couldn't get in it. It wasn't there. I mean, to do something.
So I guess if you're running home, then run that GWX control panel.
Right. Now I have a Windows 8 that's streaming PC, HP streaming PC. It's just got a Celeron and it's a real small, and I never get any notification. It's there because I'll just disable it and go in device and it's running in the background. I'll just go in Task Manager just to disable it, but I hardly ever get any notifications or nags on that. Probably because it wouldn't fit on there anyway. It's only got a 35 gig hard drive. Yeah. But I don't download.
Windows 10 is not light.
I know. I mean, I just use it for streaming and it works fine.
What is that? One of the Motorola's?
No, it's that HP streaming machine I got. It looks like a Roku size, but it's got 2 gigabytes.
Oh, the HP, yeah.
Yeah, and Kodi runs beautifully on it. I mean, it's smooth as silk. I can't believe how good Kodi runs on it. Kodi.
Cooper.
No, not that.
Like Super Coop?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He just stands on it?
I know who you're talking about. I never met him, though. I know you met him several times. Well, I heard about our other friend in the other Voxer with the 6 terabytes of pictures on a drive that broke. Maybe you didn't hear it today.
Oh, no, I heard that one. Yeah.
That's a lot.
A photographer with 6 terabytes of pictures, or at least a 6 terabyte NAS, no backups.
JBOD.
Yeah. Well, he said it was a JBOD, and then he said it was splitting the data, and I'm like, JBOD doesn't mean it's splitting the data, right? That just means basic disks, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
He knows more than all that.
I didn't. I mean, he said spanning, which is a RAID.
That's a RAID, right? Yeah.
I did it wrong.
So maybe he was. I don't know.
But how long would it?
Well, you know what?
Because JBOD just stands for just a bunch of disks. That's all it is.
You know what? Here's the thing about that guy, is that he's like an old Italian grandma. Like, he'll give you the recipe, but he'll put some wrong ingredient in there so that you'll never quite duplicate. He'll never quite give you the secret. I mean, the secret's there, but it's hidden.
Oh, he helped me.
There's always some little lie he adds, some little detail, some falsification to obfuscate what's really going on. Because he'll give you a sense of what's going on, but he's not gonna give you the keys to the kingdom.
Oh, I mean, Liam helped me get rid of the.
You said his
I wasn't
name.
talking about Liam. I'd say. I didn't say
Leo Laporte. I mean, he helped me.
Liam Laporte.
He helped me get rid of Lollipop off of my Nexus 7.
Oh man!
And for
that was bad. I mean,
for some reason, I thought Olivia Munn, who's an actress now, for some reason I thought she was on Twit, but I think she was just on G4 TV.
Yeah.
Not any of the Twitch shows or Leo shows.
No.
I don't know why I brought that up, but she was on TV today this afternoon.
Yeah, 6 gigs. 6 gigs of your life gone is.
No, 6 terabytes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you. 6 terabytes of your life's work. It's like You probably should be backing it.
How long would it take to back that up? Oh my goodness.
Well, not long if you do it properly daily.
I don't know. My
But,
biggest hard drive I got in my house is like 50 gigs. No.
Yeah, 6 terabytes. That's a lot of data. It doesn't matter what company you use to back up that data. They may start limiting you if you're not putting out enough money for that. The chat room's talking about, Uncle Al brought up that, speaking of Leo Laporte, he didn't pay his caching service. It was going to him, but he never saw the email, and his caching service went down because he didn't pay the bill, and his network was down. Like, the
Oh
Twit
my
network
God.
was just online, just gone.
that's-
Yeah. He said he tried to call them, couldn't call them, tried to email them, couldn't email them, tried to, and he ended up doing a Twitter blast, and boom, within moments, they called him. Oh.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not waiting to see waiting to see a video on YouTube with him going off like he did with that guy that one time. Remember?
No.
Oh, come on, you remember? He dropped the some not nice words. One of his guests on his show.
I don't.
You never?
I
saw
don't
it?
remember. No,
Wow.
the one that I remember the most is the one where the lady calls up and says that she can't connect to the wireless anymore, and come to find out she's been using wireless off of her neighbor's open Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
and they either locked it down or did something. Which she's like, "How do I get in it?" And he's like, "What? Seriously?" That was the tech guy, one of the tech guy ones.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know what? That's only happened a million times, but
I know,
it never gets old.
never.
Yeah.
Pretty fun,
I don't remember my password. Matter of fact, none of this looks familiar.
right?
I've been hacked.
Yeah, Kevin, Crash Plan is awesome, but I think at 6 terabytes, I think they may I don't know if they start limiting bandwidth after that. Like, really, can they give you 6 terabytes? I know they say unlimited, but I have a feeling that they probably throttle it way down. And to upload 6 terabytes, I had to upload 1.5 terabytes, and it took quite a while. Now, I realize that it's upload speed, so it depends on what package you have and how busy your servers are and all that kind of stuff. But I think any online, any cloud-based data, 6 terabytes is a lot. No matter how you.
Well, look, I mean, you got to back it up somehow.
Oh, sure.
And
Well,
I mean,
that's
it should be backing up locally or whatever. And the cloud stuff, it would just be a differential, and she could pick and choose. I mean, it's not like a photographer is actually needs to keep forever every single image they ever take.
right.
But to be a photographer, to do anything and have everything stored, your life's work stored, or the last 6 terabytes of your life's works stored on a portable device, essentially a portable. I mean, it's not like a PC sitting somewhere, right? I mean, this.
No, it was like a NAS, like a Synology NAS or a QNAP box.
It was a box. It was a box with 2 discs in it, right? I mean, it was something that a cat could knock off a shelf.
Sure.
That's what I mean portable. It's not always moving around, but it's something a cat could knock off a shelf if it wanted to, and so I don't know. That's living pretty dangerous. That's living dangerously. Excuse me.
Oh, there's the chat room link for you there about Leo Laporte blowing up.
Yeah, I just put it in it. Yeah.
What'd you ever figure out on that anyway? I didn't quite get the wrap up on that story.
Which one?
With the JPod. I mean, was he able to?
Yeah,
I
I think he got everything back.
Okay, so the appliance was broken somehow, but the disc he was able to get the data from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But his points were about his point he's trying to make that people just don't do backups.
Oh no, that's absolutely. I just wondered what the deal was there. I didn't hear the final wrap up.
Okay. Well, and Brantley did some work because I knew that Crash Plan was unlimited. I'm a huge Crash Plan. I'll tout the Crash Plan, flag. I'm a huge Crash Plan, and he says so. He says Crash Plan says, quote unquote, we don't care if you're backing up 5 gigs or 5 terabytes, and we don't place limits on individual file sizes. Furthermore, we don't throttle upload speeds no matter how much data you've backed up.
They don't throttle upload.
Right. Which is awesome. So I've been using Crash Plan for years, and yeah, they're kind of my go-to for offsite cloud backup. He says it would take forever. It would just take forever to get the backup there. But once you get it there, normally only changing a few files is not so bad. So that's true. So yes, it would probably take her quite a bit of time to back up the data to them, unless you use their Pro stuff. If you bought into their Pro plan or their Enterprise plan, you could probably do a seeded hard drive, work with them, and then that will help you get the data up there faster. And what the nice thing about CrashPlan is you can download their app, but then not use their service. You can use their app to back up to data to another computer. So I could download the app. It's cross-platform, which is nice. Put it on my Linux machine. Send Mitch a box that has Windows on it, and then use my CrashPlan. Just use the CrashPlan app to back up my Linux box to the box at Mitch's house for free.
Thank you.
And then Mitch would have all my data. All my pictures. So,
I have a tech question.
you should raise your hand.
Okay.
The floor recognizes Mitch Heyman.
Because we got some great people in the chat room too, I mean, you guys. I have two computers here running Windows 10. This one here is Windows 10 Enterprise, or what is this? It's because I got such a bad memory. This one is Windows 10. I don't know, where is it? Pro, and I have my recording machine is home. My question is, I share files between folders between them both, but from the Pro machine I can see the files on the home machine, but from the home machine it won't let me connect. It wants me to use password. I don't have anything set up with passwords in it, but it's asking me for username and password to connect to the Pro machine. I don't want to.
What?
Do you understand?
No, I lost it.
I got some shared folders, right? Like on the machine that right now I'm doing in the Google Hangout with, it's a Pro, Windows 10 Pro. I have a Toshiba Windows 10 Home. Now, when I try to look at files on my from the Toshiba Home machine on the Pro machine, it's asking for a password and username. But okay. I don't have any password. Like I just log on the computer. I don't.
That's why you have to be able to share data like that, or to be able to see data like that, you have to have a password.
But I can do it the other way around. I can do it from the Pro machine to the Home machine, no problem. Sees everything. But is it because is it a Pro because of?
Yeah, you need a password. Yeah, and make sure you're using, for simplicity, make sure you're using the same username and the same password on both machines.
So, I don't. But I don't have it set up to log on that way, so I'm not.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying because if I'm using it, because if I log in with my Linux box with the username Martin and the password 123, and I try to log onto this box over here with the username Martin and the password 456, when I try to jump from this computer to that computer, it's going to ask me for a password because it's going to try to transpose Martin 123, which is what I'm logged on to, over to that computer, but that computer doesn't have Martin 123. That's Martin 456, unless I create a user on that.
So I can set up the same password on both machines.
Right, and then what's going to happen?
Password, yeah.
The same logon password, and then what it's going to be able to do is it's going to be able to, so when you request data, it's going to say, this is who I am, and it's going to say, oh, I know who that is because you already have credentials on this machine, and allow you to pass it as opposed to asking you for the password every time.
I had that issue too, like years back on a Windows 7 machine, and it was a Pro, and I got it to do with it. I had to disable, turn something off in group policy, and I forget what it was. It was a long thing I had to read, and it worked though. But I mean, some of my machines I do have passwords on there, but the 3 down here I don't. 1, 2, all right, 4. Sorry.
Got it.
Well, mine are all Tim 123 and Tim 456. Just like
mine are all Monkey 123.
Well, that's not what you said. You just said.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is live. Yeah, it's an example.
I use the launch codes 987654321.
I thought it was 00000000.
I can't. Well,
He uses the new launch codes.
yes.
Oh, the launch code version 2.0.
Yes. The top secret.
Hey,
top
we
secret.
may get to use it if Trump wins.
All right.
Shouldn't say that.
That's okay. So I also had another client who I say so a lot. In Windows, I have these clients who have moved from POP and IMAP to Hosted Exchange. When you have a POP or IMAP and you're using Outlook, you can put passwords on the .pst file. So when you open up Outlook, before it does anything, or in the process of opening Outlook, it'll ask you for a password because it can't open up the PST file, which is where all your data is, right, until you put in the password. When you switch to Hosted Exchange, it makes it an OST file, and you have things like a cached exchange mode and other issues, and so you can put a password on it, but the password's only to download the newest data. When you hit cancel, you can see everything from the other day. So it works, but all you have to do is go back in the next day and hit cancel. You can't get anything new, but anything that was old will be there. So I've had some of my clients wanting to be able to lock down Outlook for different reasons. They just want to be able not to open up Outlook because other people use their computers and they want their email to be secure and safe. There's a program out there that I've been testing with, and so far so good. It's called WinGuard Pro. You can download it from www.winguardpro.com. This will password protect any application, but it does more than that. So when you download this, what I found is when you download this, well, first off, it's free that I've seen, but they ask you to pay $5 for it. So let's see, I think you can buy it in a bundle as well. It was like 1 for $5 or 5 for $21.25 or something along those lines. It was super inexpensive. But what you can do is this will lock down any executable. So you launch the application, update it, have whatever you want open, and then when the application launches, you can go in to see what's running, and you can double-click and you can say lock this. But it does a lot more than that. You can lock things like the command line, the start menu, any USB thumb drives or any USB drives. It does passwords. Oh wait, it does Windows Explorer, like the drive itself. So you can kind of make a kiosk out of this, and then there's a password. You create a password. So when you launch the app, you have to put a password in before you can get to any of the settings. And it's been running now for about a week and a half at a client of mine, and so far so good. It's worked out really, really well.
Is it limited to what you can have, or how many different programs you can block or lock?
I don't think so. I think you can lock it way down. So maybe you want Outlook and Firefox to be blocked, but everything else unblocked. When you go to run Firefox, what happens is the program runs, and then all of a sudden the program goes away, and the box pops up for a password. If you don't put the password in, you hit cancel, the program closes. It's like it suspends the program. But if you put the right password in, the program then relaunches. And it doesn't actually shut the program down, because like Outlook, when you open up Outlook, sometimes it takes a while and it kind of chugs for a little bit to get your profile up and running, and then it opens up. This program will run, do all that, open up Outlook, lock it, put in your password, you're up and running. So, but the previous version, before you upgrade it, right away it tells you have 29 days left. Buy this within 30 days. When you update it, all of those warnings go away. So I don't know how long the free version runs. Maybe it's an endless trial. So I need to touch bases with him again and ask him, has he had any pop-ups, anything mentioning this program? But even if it is free and it never prompts you for an application, it's $5. It's not an expensive application. So WinGuard Pro. Oh, here it is. WinGuard Pro 16. You can download the trial. 3 PCs, $12.75. 10 PCs, $42.50. 5 PCs, $12.25. And then there's a whole custom order, and there's a CryptGuard, which will encrypt and shred files as well that they have there on their site. But so the more you buy, the cheaper it is. But for $5, I'll throw them a bone, and and use it.
Can you like in if you're an admin, can you keep programs from running?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. So this
Yeah.
person is a local admin on the machine
Mm-hmm.
because this app runs and you need a password to run it. So even if he's a local admin on the machine, which means he can install data, I can still lock him out of stuff because I may use a password that he doesn't know in that application. Because it's not based on your user, it's based on there's a password within the application itself.
Terrible name. It sounds like a real spammy drive-by virus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
that's to say nothing. I have no opinion of the product. I hope
Yeah,
you're
right.
Now, it sounds really interesting, but the name is.
Yeah, I have to find a WinGuard Pro tutorial, see how to remove it.
Speaking of spammy, I was out of state. I was in Vancouver, and I got a call. I didn't get a chance to answer it, and it was, "Hey Martin, it's Michael. Want to let you know that my computer. I don't know if you can hear it, but my computer's making a big noise. It's screaming at me. It's telling me I'm infected, and it's locked the computer. There's nothing I can do. Microsoft says I need to call this 800 number to get rid of it. Go ahead and give me a call when you get a chance." So the first thing I'm like, I call this guy, and I go straight to voicemail, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's talking to those guys. Sure enough, I called him. Hey, how'd it go? He goes, well, I called the 800 number, and I talked to a Microsoft tech, and the Microsoft tech remoted into my computer, and he got it all working. He showed me I had like 500 connections to my machine since 3 a.m. this morning, and it was getting hugely infected. And I said, yeah, they'll do that. And then I said, you didn't pay him, did you? And he goes, well, towards the end, he wanted $400, and I wouldn't pay him.
He kept him on the hook.
And so I'm like, I said, okay, Microsoft will never call you. You didn't have anybody in your machine. So I need to follow up with him because he was going to have me run back into his machine and check it out and see if he was infected with anything. But he says, everything's running fine. But he pays for my managed antivirus, so I don't know why. He didn't wait for me to respond. Because in my voice message, I'm like, just hold the power button until it shuts down. But boom, first thing he did was just call up Microsoft. And I said, did you get some Microsoft support in India? And he goes, no, it wasn't India at all. And then later on, he's like, so this Indian guy kept telling me to. And I'm like, aha! I said, you were totally spammed.
And you're a liar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, whoopsie. People. So we have talked about Pixie booting in the past, and I use it here a lot in my place here, so I don't have to carry around CDs and stuff like that. So this CD came out, netboot.xyz. Netboot.xyz. So what this is it's a Pixie. It's a downloader. It's an ISO. You can download it. It is just multiple flavors of operating systems. So what it does is it says it's a way to select various operating systems, installers, or utilities from one place within the BIOS without the need to go and retrieve the media and run the tool. So you run it, and I ran it just to check it, but it has Integros, Linux, I don't know how to say that one, Arch, CentOS, Core OS, Debian, Fedora, FreeBSD, Kali, Mageia, OpenBSD, OpenSUSE, Rancher OS, Scientific, TinyCore Linux, and Ubuntu. So you go and you just boot from those, and then it walks through the setups, and it's a net booter. So then it downloads everything from the internet, but then it will install Linux for you. The utilities: AVG, CloneZilla, DBAN, Gparted, HDT, MemTest, Partition Wizard, PogoStick, which is the that's now they call it PogoStick, but that's your offline NT boot cracker one, and then Super Grub to disk. So it's just an ISO, and it's a great way if you're looking for a CD that has a whole bunch of just a quick way to do some net boots for Linux distros or some another CD to throw in your tool bag. Netboot.xyz. All right, I'm gonna get on my little rant, my little soapbox here.
Yeah, hit it.
All right. Are we not at a point at some time here where computer manufacturers and distributors have, when are they going to finally just realize that they can't stop doing stupid things that make that weaken the security of the systems that they're selling? Okay, we've seen this time and time again from a lot of manufacturers, including Lenovo. Well, Lenovo did it again. There's an application out there called ShareIt, ShareIt, and it's their file sharing application within their like within Windows. It's their own. What it says is ShareIt is a free file sharing application that is designed to allow people to share files and folders from Android devices or Windows computers over a local LAN through a Wi-Fi hotspot that's created. Okay, they they hard coded the password on every single one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it.
All right.
I'm like, when I heard this, I thought, seriously, when do they finally say we got to stop doing this kind of nonsense? Is this something that they don't care about, or is this something that they just not my problem and they just pass it on, or do they care and just it's too little, too late?
So this is a password in the code, but somebody somewhere decided that that shouldn't be user configurable.
Well,
they just gave it a generic password.
Well, it can be. I mean, it's hard coded in that, so you can't change it.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, and so that's. I mean, that's what this password does, right? So the devices that communicate to each other, kind of like when you. I guess an example that I can relate it to is when you connect up some Bluetooth device, and it tells you it has a hard, the peripheral has some hard-coded Bluetooth code that you can't change. It just, when the keyboard pops up, you just have to type in 4032 because that's just what it is.
Right.
That's what is that what this thing is, where the passwords are already in the device so that the user doesn't have to actually handle that. It just connects.
I don't know. I don't use ShareIt, unfortunately, okay. But I just
yeah. But it's stupid. But that's a stupid thing. But then again, I mean, if all of them have the exact same thing, it doesn't really matter what it is.
Right. I mean, if your Bluetooth device was a revolving password every time it connected, that's one thing. If it's the same all the time, like 0000, which most things are, there's a problem with that. But now we have, manufacturers, and Lenovo's done the other things, and Dell's done other things, and it's just, and they're not the only ones who have hard-coded stuff. Lately it's been top-end Juniper, there's been password flaws in Juniper switches, but I don't. It's getting to the point where it seems like it's all the time. Somebody says, oh, this person hard-coded this, and I kind of think, okay, early on, ignorance is bliss. They didn't know. Or now they know, it's been revealed and stuff like that. But as time keeps going on, when it's just history repeating itself, and at one point do you say, history repeating itself is not allowed anymore? Or do you just chalk it up to, well, that's what they're going to do?
You know what? I'd have to read this because I don't understand. I mean, I have a sense of what this thing is and what it does, and I saw the story, but I didn't read it earlier, so I don't understand exactly what the threat is here, other than it just sounds like more stupid behavior that's going to lead to some issues down the road. Is this a thing that is available to the user to, like, basically make what you can do now, but just do it really easily?
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of things available. I mean, like any of us could set something this up, but this is to just make it like really dumb and easy for anybody. Is that what's happening here? The software?
Yeah, I mean, it's his own proprietary sharing software.
Okay, all right. I what I would expect that from I don't know, a really lesser manufacturer, somebody who caters to really unsophisticated people. Um, but I don't know. I mean, to me that the Lenovo brand continues to lose its tarnish. That to me, that name, yeah, kind of for decent hardware, and you've got decent support, and you could go to the site and there was always really good documentation. But you know, who there's doing all these making these stupid decisions, putting this garbage on?
I mean,
It's underhanded
I've
stuff. I don't know.
I've got a Lenovo ThinkPad. I really like my Lenovo ThinkPad. And first thing I did was pull the hard drive, and the hard drive's actually in a box. Pull the hard drive, put an SSD on it, and put Linux on it. So I still have the
Oh,
original
I see.
Windows hard drive. But so I'm not too worried about that. But I know this is small. It's one little thing, but while this is one little thing that it's small, you've got enterprise routers. You've got the kids' toys that take pictures. You've got
The
you know you've
Internet
got
of Things.
you've got yeah the whole Internet of Things. You've got the cameras now. You've got the doorbell, the Ring doorbell, the Ring Central doorbell hack that's been fixed now. But it's just I don't know. Every now and then it makes me.
And it's exploding. I mean, this is something that you buy the machine now. That's the thing. You buy the machine now, and it's like, okay, I guess that if we really, really want to pick this thing apart, it's come on, it's no big deal. I mean, it's a very small threat. Well, but you know what? That machine could stay in service for years and years. Especially the way I use things. I mean, stuff lasts. Now my kids, it's a doorstop in about 3 months, but I use things forever. And
Right.
so, what does the Internet of Things look like, 3 years from now, 7 years from now? I mean, it's going to explode.
Yeah.
It's going to explode. So, these sort of things.
And I've kind of strayed away from that. I haven't been, I feel like there are certain things that I'm an early adopter on and that I like to tinker and play with, but there's certain things that I just kind of want to sit back and wait, like the whole, all the Internet of Things stuff. It's me. I have no reason that I needed my refrigerator to tell me what it is. I like the Ring Central stuff. I think that's pretty cool, but I don't. I was thinking about doing some video cameras, but make sure that if it's externally facing, you lock them down because you can go to that one website. You could get all the camera settings. You can look at external cameras now, and baby monitors, and
Everything technology is stupid until you personally find that killer application for you. Until you actually have that moment where it solves a problem for you, and then it goes from being stupid and useless, and the people that use those things are complete jerks and like Bluetooth headphones. Until you have that moment where you use it and it solves a problem for you, and then you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you give these people with these every single person still uses a flip phone. Oh, this is all you need. This is the greatest thing. You don't need all that, But I've never seen anybody get a smartphone and then say, nope, I want my flip phone back because this is stupid. And it is until you actually use it and it solves a problem for you, and you find your life is just slightly better because of it, and all of a sudden technology makes sense and it clicks. So I don't know. I mean, do I really want my water heater online? No. But I don't know. I mean, if I actually saw where enough people were alerted because the water heater burst and it was blowing all over the place, I don't know. If it actually solves some real problem, I don't know. I mean, maybe that kind of makes sense. But did you read? It's funny because did you read the article that Liam wrote about the Internet of Things?
No, Liam.
Yeah, Liam.
No, I didn't write.
You know what? Just right before the show, he posted it to our chat and asked us to proofread it. But you know what? It kind of just real quickly went over the Internet of Things, and
Oh gosh, there's 41 different responses.
so I'm not really going to kind of hit on it because that was his documentation. That was his content he created for his site.
Sure.
But basically, it kind of goes into the Internet of Things, and just we have to stop thinking about things as your network, everything. We have to stop thinking about it as the network. I mean, we have to really kind of start divvying it up and saying what should have access to what, what is this device? What does that do? And so, um, does everything need internet connectivity? Well, probably, but is it necessary that my my the Android app that runs my garage door opener, should it really have access to my NAS device? Well, probably not.
Right.
So he kind of delved into that, and and it's classic Liam. It's like, hey, here's a threat to your life. You don't want to deal with it. I'll come in and fix that for you, right? Just selling it. It's like, it's like he's not creating an issue where there is no issue. He's just saying, hey, look, this is out there, and you don't want to deal with it. Hey, I'll take care of it for you. So
Yeah.
that's,
I'll have to read that.
selling.
It looks
That
like
is
it.
how you sell.
Yeah. Brantley posted an Amazon link for $11.44. You can have the Quirky Egg Minder Wink app enabled smart egg tray. It syncs with your smartphone to let you know how many eggs you've gotten at home, up to 14, not like total. You can't have any more than 14 in this thing. And when they're going bad, connects to your mobile device to track the number of eggs you have. It has an LED light in the tray to let you know what's the oldest egg. Yeah, there you go.
Do they have an app for Office, for Outlook? It tells you how many emails you sent?
I don't know. I did get an email back from her. It is Outlook 2013. Let's see. Kevin in the thing wants a bacon monitor. Bacon.
Oh
So.
my God.
All right. So.
Egg Minder, Wink app enabled, smart egg tray. You know what? I tell you what. I have been so sick for so long of dumb egg trays.
They just sit there. Stupid things.
I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what. I need a smart couch.
There you go. That's how long you've been sitting there? Or how long maybe the couch has been sitting there?
You know what? I don't want a smart couch because it'd be like you've been here too long.
I know.
It's time for you to move.
It's like Wall-E. It's like those couches that move.
Actually, if it would just alert me to when the springs are a little bit, they're slightly compressed too much on one side, it just tells you just to move down. Move down. Okay, stop. Come back. Just so that all the springs wear evenly. You don't want to get like a hump in the middle.
Oh, of course not.
No.
All right. Matt Rainey's in the chat, and he's got a possible solution. I'm not sure if he's going to type it, but go ahead. I'm going to read this, and then we'll come back to Matt. July 22nd through 24th, the Toronto Unconvention for Computer Techs and Business Owners. I think I'm going to try to go to that. It's on TechNibble. I think Corey Fruitman is involved in this.
Oh, it's Mike Smith.
Is that what it is? I haven't heard
I
much
think
about it.
so.
I apologize.
Yeah, I believe it's the one with Mike Smith.
But I'm going to try to go to this. I have to go to Canada, so we'll see if they'll let me back into the country. We'll go from there. But check that out. Okay, on to our email because we're running. I got to do some stuff too. So okay, here it is. Matt Rainey says you can use the view filter and go to the advanced. You can use the view filter and go to the advanced to put in between the dates. So show me the things that sent between these two dates and so on. Oh, there you have it. I'm going to copy and paste that because she emailed me. Okay, email. Email says, get to the email. All right. Hi guys, it's Craig from the UK again. I was listening to an episode a week or two ago, and Martin was saying about a client who was still on Windows XP and can't turn them off. I'd like to say that I feel your pain. I had someone exactly the same. I get called round every so often when things go wrong. Just had to get them a printer, but the new ones support XP, so couldn't get one of them. But the new ones, it must be new ones don't support. But I managed to get an older printer similar to the one they had, a HP PSC 1210, an all-in-one printer. They had the 1213, which had a USB port on the front, and they said the old one was a little faster, but they were happy with it. Okay. A few days ago, they said the computer wasn't turning on. Yes, I thought now's my chance to get them upgrading. I got around to turning on the PC. It started loading. BIOS beeped fine. Hard drive spun up, but monitor didn't come on. This monitor is an old 12 to 14-inch flat screen with one cable that sticks out the back,
Oh,
VGA cable that
yeah.
plugs in the VGA port on the PC, but the VGA plug is another socket on an about 3.5 millimeter like headphone jack where the power supply plugs into. Followed the cable to the power supply and saw the light wasn't on the supply. Picked it up. The light came on and the monitor came back to life. So now I have moved the
That's too
supply.
bad.
Yeah, so now I have moved the supply, so loose connection, and the PC is working fine. What I don't understand is they have the money to upgrade, but it's not like it's the funds. So please, Martin, please, if you find a solution to your pain, please let me know. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work. Craig from the UK. Well, Craig from the UK, Saturday, I went to the client that was having the last XP machines, and they purchased Windows 7, and I deployed Windows 7. Not only that, but then I went around and put all their computers up to Windows to 8 gigs of RAM from 4 gigs of RAM. So, um, I don't. If they're, if your clients, if you can tell them this is the problem, here's the solution, here's how we can fix this, and if they choose not to do it, then maybe that's when you have them maybe put something down on paper. Like it's not going to be if you get infected because you have a Windows XP machine that's no longer supported, or then I can't be held liable.
What would happen? This is what I want y'all to do. We have a question like when you deal with customers. I want you to stop and think. I want you to turn around. So when your customer has you do something that it's out of your routine. It's like they ask you to do something you would not recommend, and so you get in this middle thing of like you think, oh, okay. So you kind of going through your mind, why is it I recommend you do this? And some things are very clear cut. It's like red light. Other things is like green light. It's like, okay, well I have an opinion on that, but I don't really care. We go either way. Sometimes I get into a thing where I'm thinking, oh, maybe and maybe that's what they want. I know the customer's always right, but I would never do that. What they're asking you to do, I want you to stop and think, turn around and ask, what would you expect your mechanic to say if you asked him the same thing? So if you were at your mechanic and you said, you know what, I never use seatbelts, just take them out because they're in the way. Well, they would never do that, okay? And they wouldn't hesitate to say, you're crazy, I would never do that. That's a safety thing. Obviously, it's your personal safety, but you know what? Many things in tech, you draw a real strong correlation to personal safety. If they're asking you to do something that is obviously illegal, well, good. What would happen if you asked your mechanic, you know what, it's going to be a lot cheaper if we just put new exhaust on. Don't bother with that catalytic converter. That's going to be $500-600. Just don't even leave it off. Well, that's illegal. He won't do it because it's illegal. And it's the same thing. As a tech, it's like if you'd expect your mechanic to get in your face, point a finger at you and say, I would never ever do that, and just act like I was ridiculous. That's really the way you should be approaching. Don't hem haul around. I mean, draw a hard line. And then if they're asking you just to do something dumb, like so, as when I go to the mechanic and it's pouring oil over the place, and he says, "Look, I can't let you leave because this is an environmental problem, or maybe there's a tire, it's about to blow out, and I got my kids." And it wouldn't necessarily be safety, it wouldn't necessarily this or that, but it would be a very bad idea potentially. You know what? He's going to draw a hard line with you at the same again, and so you kind of have to be the same way. When somebody asks you something that's out of my routine, and I have a policy, but at the same time, it's my nature to fix things. I want to just take what I got and make it work, But sometimes, and a lot of times, you don't. They're asking you to do something that's over here, and your ability to make it happen legally and responsibly and maintain your reputation is way over here. And there is nothing in between. That's the point where you have to say, no, I would not do that. No responsible tech would do that. And there's some things that you can say, look, I'll gladly have you sign a paper that says, this is what the customer wanted, I recommended against it. Whatever comes of it, that's on them. I told them not to do that, and because this could happen. And then everybody signs it. That's one thing. But what do you think, Martin? Am I resonating here?
You're totally resonating.
Okay, I mean, if a
Oh.
plumber came to your house and you asked him to do something that would be just ridiculous, you would expect him to just look at you like you're ridiculous.
Well,
But
I'm
I know
I'm
that sometimes
thinking
in text, I mean, we was like, well, we just want to fix things.
right. I'm thinking go out and steal their seatbelts and give it back to them when they put Windows 7 in.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
A little ransom. Go steal something.
That's not bad.
Oh
That's
my
not
gosh.
bad.
No,
You
I
could
completely
just
agree.
take the power cord, just unplug it, just take the power
Right.
cord with you.
Right, just take the computer. You'll get this back when you want to upgrade it. This is mine now. Take their monitor. Hey, take the monitor. Craig, walk away with the broken monitor.
I don't know. What was that, 12-inch or something? I don't
That's
know.
right. Oh my
It's
gosh.
a tablet.
Yeah, it is. I swallowed wrong. All right. And that really hurts.
I'm sorry. You know, I kind of got off on that, but that's like, I don't know. I think about that every so often. That comes back to me. It's like somebody asks me to do something, and I'm like, you know what? What if I ask my mechanic that? And so I that kind of struck that nerve there, and I went off there. I hope that was helpful to folks. They kind of, you know, that you just look at the situation a little differently. You don't owe anybody anything other than just you know.
Right.
Yeah.
They hire you to bring them up to spec, so.
Yeah.
Go for Mitch. The floor recommends.
On a more important note, spring is 92 days, 18 hours, and 3 minutes away. Thought everybody should know that.
Softball registration starts this Saturday for us.
I always wait to see what the groundhog says.
No, the groundhog doesn't play softball. He supposedly with thumbs. He can't hold on to that bat.
Hey, he does okay for a quadruped.
All right, for a quadruped. Mitch, if people want to, wow, if people want to, if you want to get a hold of us, oh gosh,
All right, I'll take over. You can send us emails at geeksters@podnuts.com, or better yet, send us a voicemail at 7076-PodNut, 707-676-3688. It's been a while.
yes, that's been a first email in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, I'm Tim Bauermeister on G+.
Nice. I'm Martin at obandocomputing.com. You can check me out at obandocomputing.com. Obando on Google+. Obando Computing in the chat room. Thanks to everybody for coming out. Gosh, we had Matt Rainey, we had Kevin, we had Johnny, we had Brantley, we had Uncle Al in there. My goodness, we had a
nice long list of folks tonight.
we had a I want to thank all the people who made this possible, made episode 177 possible. All right, guys, I've got a meeting. We got dinner to go to. So, guys, thank you very much.
Bruce Knuckles.
Thanks,
kid. All right. Thanks,
All right.
thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Have a great week. Don't forget to be gruntled. Bye, guys.